The member from the 19th District, Representative Walsh.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to move Amendment 1156 for adoption.
Amendment 11, it has been moved and seconded that Amendment 1156 be adopted. Remarks, Representative Walsh.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This amendment clarifies what is surely confusing material in the underlying proposal. And this has to do with questionnaires and surveys that some teachers, some administrators, some school districts, some bureaucrats at education service districts, and some superintendents of public instruction in our state put forward. These questionnaires, these surveys, are nominally teaching tools, but really there's a great deal of uncertainty even among credentialed experts about how effective they are as tools in that capacity. But they tend to focus on issues that are outside of what some of us consider basic education: reading, writing, math, and the hard sciences. These surveys and questionnaires sometimes have to do with personal matters: one's own sexuality, one's own sexual thoughts, one's own notion of sexual identity. Some of these questionnaires have to do with other material, one's family. What do you do at home? What are your common practices at home? What are your religious practices at home? What are your tensions at home? Now, Mr. Speaker, in some cases, these questionnaires, these surveys, may be intended to help a student, to help people with their development. But, Mr. Speaker, they are an inappropriate tool, in most cases, in many cases anyway, to the charge that you and I share of providing high-quality basic education to all the children in the state. These questionnaires, they are controversial by definition, and we should not rely on them. We should not count on them, and if they are to be used, they need to be used in very measured and limited ways. What this amendment does is it sets clear guidelines so that we don't have to worry about confusion about how these questionnaires and surveys can be used in our schools. It is a clarifying amendment to confusing language in the underlying proposal. Please vote yes.
Further remarks, the member from the 19th District, Representative Walsh.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Vote yes on the amendment. Let's go back to the beginning of our discussion of this policy. Parents are the primary stakeholders in the upbringing of their children. We have to honor that principle, Mr. Speaker, in our public policy, and this amendment honors that principle. Parents are the primary stakeholders in the upbringing of their children. Please vote yes.
The 19th District, Representative Walsh.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good amendment. Please vote yes. Let's respect our democracy and allow the people to have the option of a voice in the final reckoning of this underlying proposal. Mr. Speaker, we've heard a lot of complaint about confusion caused by the Parents' Bill of Rights. Mr. Speaker, I would posit to you the confusion is the result of incompetence and ineptitude from Chris Reichel in the Office of Public Instruction. Their guidances have been a mess of illogic and confusing instruction. Ironic, isn't it? If we want an emergency, the emergency is what's going on at OSPI, and not the rank and file policy people there, Mr. Speaker, but at the top, there has been confusion, obtuseness, willful misunderstanding. That's the emergency. Let's focus our emergency clause where it belongs. Let's remove it from the underlying policy and give the people of the state the right to fix what's broken, and that starts in the corner office at OSPI. Please vote yes.
Is there a further remark from someone in opposition to the bill. The member from the 19th District, Representative Walsh.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Bad bill, vote no. Madam Speaker, we have considered from the beginning of this discussion to right now the many ways in which Senate Bill 5181 is a bad piece of public policy. Madam Speaker, this starts with the very title of the proposal and works down through most of the body of the text. Madam Speaker, when we developed Initiative 2081 that became the section of RCW 28A that it is now as good law, we heard from parents and families all around the state who spoke to me, to all of us involved, about what they saw as a fundamental change in our state's values. What they see is a system by which, in a series of small cuts and changes, our outstanding public education system has been undermined and debased into something that is incompetent at educating our children and puts us at a loggerhead with the state constitution, which charges us that our paramount duty is to deliver a high-quality basic education to all the children in the state. Madam Speaker, the families of Washington are watching that charge evaporate. And what they wanted in the Washington Parents' Bill of Rights was a restatement of our values. And Madam Speaker, you know this. When activist groups tried to attack the Parents' Bill of Rights in court after we passed it here, remember the vote, Madam Speaker. I remember it. It was 82-15 on this floor, and it was 49-0. It was unanimous across the rotunda. When the activist groups tried to attack the law in our state courts said it's good law. And that surprised some people. But they said it, Madam Speaker, because it is good law. And Madam Speaker, this is an inflection point. This is a point in our state's history when our state is going to change its direction and defend families.
The Speaker's time has expired.